was going to do it. But I didn't do it. Hey everybody, failed entrepreneur. Make crappy videos every day. Subscribe so you don't miss one. And I was going to make a video yesterday on what seems to be just the really growing, brewing, dangerous, like racial tensions going on in the country right now, and how I was afraid they might be spilling over into some kind of violence here very, very soon. From what I could see in my dirty apartment in the middle of Arizona, about as far removed from the current issues here as possible, still kind of semi-lockdown for Corona. I didn't make it. I made a different video instead. Turns out I was kind of right and only off by a few hours on the violence that was coming. Today's video is on a reflection on the violence, the riots we saw in Minneapolis, LA, and Memphis, Tennessee. If there was any more, they must have been smaller. They didn't get the headlines, but a lot of protests and violent protests that turned into violence, I guess, over the death of George Floyd, black man killed by police in Minneapolis last week, of course. It should go without saying, but I'll just say it again. Of course, police should not be killing people on the streets. We're not, they are not a bunch of mini Judge Dreads, judge, jury, executioners. There's a rule of law, overuse of force. That's a huge issue. I get it. My brother is a police officer here in the state, so I see there's not even both sides. It's a no-brainer. You should not be doing it. However, things happen. It's not the first time this has happened. It probably isn't going to be the last time this is going to happen. It's a very, very complex issue. I'm not talking about that, but yes, it should not be happening. It's an accident. It's tragic. Horrible, horrible, horrible. However, two wrongs don't make a right. And the riots that we saw yesterday night, anyone could see it coming. There was some protest the night before, I believe in Minneapolis, and you could see there was probably going to be a second night of that. And it's getting into summertime. It's hot. People are fed up. Corona, like the whole country is just seems to be on edge lately. All of these factors taken into account. And that's kind of what the video yesterday was going to be. My thoughts on just, it's getting hot. Everyone's Corona crazy. You have all this other stuff on top of it. It's just a recipe for disaster. And then we saw that spill out yesterday night. There's all over Twitter and YouTube, live streaming these riots all over the place. And it was unfortunate, but not unpredictable, right? And I've been in the middle of a couple of riots before, and it's an interesting situation to be in. So I could kind of relate to watching these live streams and kind of feeling like you're there and remembering sometimes I've been in. So maybe that's a video for another time. But anyway, the point of my video today actually is not so much on the cause and not so much the riots themselves, but the comments, the reaction to people like me watching these at home. And it was just like almost atrocious. I don't know what to say, right? But watching, I was sitting at home watching these, like I said, on Twitter, on YouTube, people live streaming them. You had a lot of people, it looks like, just kind of going out to see what was happening, not looting and not destroying stuff, but just people going out just to kind of see, hey, what's going on, right? And live streaming everything. And it's a big safety thing. That's what I did when I was in the middle of my little semi-riot, right? Is you want to record everything, of course, so you can upload it to the internet for prosperity, but also evidence, or to protect yourself in case you get harassed. Get it on video, because then you got your side and it's hard to dispute what happens there. Lots of people doing that. Just everyone's got a cell phone now. Just hit record, and you're just recording everything that was happening. But of course, you put it on the internet, and then people comment on it. And just reading through those comments, which is kind of what I like to do when like big events happen. I like to pay attention to the story, but I also like to go and see the reactions to people and just kind of see, not so much gauge, but just get different points of views and just kind of see how people, like I said, react to news and stories. And again, this is the main point here, is just the Twitter comments are semi-atrocious. It's just people supporting this, and it was their, these looters and stuff. It was their rights, and this is healthy, and they deserve this. This is very, very sad on all accounts. I couldn't imagine this happening in my city. Literally, your city is tearing itself apart. And again, I don't live in Minneapolis. I've driven through LA. Like I don't know what it's like to live there, but when you loot, when you riot, you are tearing your city apart. You're causing destruction. It's just it's the city destroying itself from the inside out. And I don't care what you think. Two wrongs hardly ever make a right. And in this case, it's not good. The people that work there at these places, these business owners are losing their businesses. The people that work there are losing their jobs. In LA, there's a lot of video you can go find of people like ransacking a Target and live streaming what a destroyed Target looks like from the inside. You can watch that on the internet. But again, there's people that work there, and now they're not getting their job. They're not getting their checks during Corona of all times, when people need their income more than ever. Target was an essential service, right? That's where people had to go to get their toilet paper and get their food. They got it now. But no, it's just like you take that away, and it's just you're hurting so many more people. And I don't care how angry you are. A free TV doesn't make things right. It doesn't bring George Floyd back. It's just, we saw this in the LA riots, April 21st, 1992. Thank you, Sublime, for making sure we don't forget that. And I just wonder, maybe if it's a younger generation, like, I don't know, maybe they wanted their riot. And watching these live streams, there's all sorts of people out there, men and women, whites and blacks, kids. There's all people participating in this. But I can't see how this honors George Floyd. This doesn't bring him back, of course, but it's just making the situation where if you're angry, by all means, go out and protest and go out and force change. But doing this isn't helping. And again, the Twitter comments, it's okay. Insurance. These businesses are heavily insured. It's not even an issue, because they'll get theirs back and they won't even be affected by this, right? And again, somehow a free TV equals out the death of this one black man. So it's okay to go out and loot and do that, or it's what people are owed this on the street, and this will make everything okay, or it's been a long time coming. And again, somehow, I don't think Target killed this individual. I don't think these local businesses had anything to do with this. Again, I didn't live there. I don't know, but I'm going to go out on a limb. So taking your wrath and your rage and your anger out on that, again, it doesn't fix or solve anything. But now, again, it's just, everyone is saying, not everyone, but so many people it's justified and supporting these people and good for them. And like I said, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And that's kind of what's more worrying, is that this mentality of being owed a riot, of being owed a chance to go and loot. That is, like I said, I look at reactions. That's what I tend to do. And that's kind of frightening that so many, again, you got your armchair Twitter people, you could say whatever you want behind that, on your couch and look tough or whatever. But like I'm saying, is that so many people, like I said, supporting, encouraging, almost egging this on does not bode well. That's not a good thing to be reading. And of course, there's people out there condemning this, and this is not how we try and solve things. But there's just so many people with strong arguments, strong feelings that this is the way forward, and the only way to get to show change is to show how angry we are by grabbing our free TV, right? Or go and grab some extra rolls of toilet paper if you could find them or something. It just doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Makes the problem worse. Not a good look. But again, there's so many people who were in support, encouraging. And I wonder, has the bar been lowered for looting and riots now, right? I'm not belittling George Floyd's death, but, is it just becomes more acceptable if looting and rioting is more mainstream, I guess. What is probable cause to start one now, right? And what happens next? I don't think. Let me jump into the video I wanted to make yesterday. This is not the first time we've seen large-scale riots like this, and I don't think it'll be the last. Now, you probably got a lot of police departments on edge and ready to clamp down on these things. The people in Minneapolis should have been aware yesterday and a bit more well-prepared to kind of stop this from happening, because, hey, I'm in Arizona. I could see it happening from here. But Memphis, LA, why is LA engaged in this, right? That makes no sense to me at all, except maybe they just wanted to relive the Rodney King riots from back in the day. I don't know how that, LA, Minneapolis are kind of far away, but that's just me, right? But I'm worried that this, like I said, may become not the new norm, but it may be happening a lot more. Again, it's summer, it's hot, Corona, you throw all that into the pot and you mix it up, and it's going to be very kind of contentious and angry summer. Maybe one we haven't seen for a long time. Was it 69? When was it? Back in this history teacher here, I can't even remember the year. Hey, it's early. I got to drink my coffee here. But when was it? I think it was 69. 69 was a crazy year, and I think maybe we're heading into, unfortunately, maybe, cross fingers, another wild summer of a lot of tension and violence and more outbreaks of potential looting. I don't know, looting, that goes pretty far, but I'm just saying it's not a good situation. And I don't know how to fix it because it's just so many people are on edge. There's so much uncertainty. There's so much anger. And I think the quarantine has maybe been keeping those things bottled up for a long time, and that soda bottle has been shaken up, and now that we're getting out more open, and it's gonna explode. Is that a good analogy? It's my analogy. Watch out, be careful. Again, hopefully justice is served and things are changed, and hopefully we can become better from this, but I'm afraid that we may be having to go a little lower or worse first. Yeah, okay. All right. That's it for today. I got things to do. It's early in the morning for me. I know you do too. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And failed entrepreneur, I'll catch you later.